Arthaus. The reason's there. You just got to look for it. And it'll just be this great secret. Millions of books will be made. Why were casts from May 4th to May 7th all tilted? You must find out. Documentaries. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever see that documentary on Netflix about Trump? Like it's called like Trump the American Dream or something. Have you ever watched that?
No, anything documentary based that's around something modern, I don't really watch because I'm living in it and I don't want to hear somebody's take on why that's good or bad. I just want to live and experience it.
Yeah.
What was on it though?
It was interesting. They talked about his glide path. A lot of similarities between him and someone like Kanye. But I'm sure you already know that, but it is interesting going in and looking at, what he did, especially when he was 29. He basically went up to Manhattan and he wanted to renovate. There's the Commodore Hotel, but to do it, he needed a 40-year, $200 million subsidy. And he got it done because he walked up to the city hall and was just like, hey, give me the subsidy or we're not doing this. And they gave it to him. And that was like the big, rebirth of like Manhattan real estate at the time. So it's interesting. His whole life.
Oh, okay, that documentary. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, never mind. There was, like everything about Trump these days is just like why his polities are bad and he's racist. But like the actual, I do like learning about his like business dealings and when he was like young. It's interesting.
Yeah, isn't it? It's like it's interesting that any one of the kind of Twitter niche that we are could be that level someday, and we're all just sort of witnessing it.
Yeah, we're not going to get there by selling dog collars, though. Or
now I'm going to get there one ebook at a time. You watch.
One ebook at a time. The story of Parker Nathans. Okay, you ready to start? We're going to start it, and then everyone's going to hop in, and then we're going to wait like a minute, and then we'll go.
All right, that's it.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom.
All right.
People, come in here now. People.
I'll retweet it too when you launch.
It's launched. Should be up.
It's launched. The 30-degree angle, man. I love it.
Yeah. I told people I'm gonna piss you guys off with this, like doing this.
We're very professional here. We only the best interviews.
Yeah, like I want them to draw the line. I want them to go out of their way to take a screenshot of the cast, go into their take all this time out of the day, take a screenshot of the cast, go into their image software, get a green line, put it over both of us, and go herder. And then they post that and they go ha, and then they get like 20 likes. Meanwhile, I just finished the cast and I go on with my life, and they're muted. So everyone wins. Everybody wins.
Yeah, the green line's been pretty funny though. The whole like yesterday.
Dude, Rivellino, he just God.
I don't know. The guy that started that seems like a good guy, but it's like he's like posting photos of like John Lennon and like
I found value. I found value with some of his game stuff, but he found the vein, and then he went full like I'm gonna piss people off for engagement, and he's also doing the thing too where when people are like, "This is fucking stupid," he instigates them with like positivity, like, "Oh, why do you think it's stupid?" He doesn't just like block them or whatever. So it's just he's just constantly creating a shitstorm. So like, good on him, I guess. He's getting engagement. He got like 1,000 followers from it. But I've unfollowed him for the time being because I just don't want anything to do with this green line stuff.
It is kind of respectable in its own way that he's just sort of riding with it now.
It is like I'm not like he could do his own thing. I don't really care, but it's just I'm staying the hell away from this whole thing because I know I can see the game he's playing and I don't want any part of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be red lines next. We're just gonna make it a different color every day.
Oh jeez. No. Okay, you know what? That was fucking hilarious. I thought you said bread lines.
No.
I was thinking like I was thinking like somehow the meme is gonna be like it's gonna make the line, and then there's just people in bread lines because of Corona or something, and there's just this like massive. Okay, not that. All right, ready to start? Ready to talk about like money and stuff?
Oh yeah, right. We're gonna talk about that.
We have an agenda. Yeah, we don't need to. We could just like we'll start with that, and then we'll see where it goes. So okay, so this is Arthaus. This is actually the official start of the cast. We were just fucking around. Parker Nathan's. He's a good guy. He's here.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, we're gonna talk about Google ads and stuff apparently, but probably not. Probably gonna go off on random tangents. Yeah, so Parker, you do Google ads and nobody else does Google ads. Why have you gone with that route instead of like Facebook or other things like Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff? Like why have you niched with Google?
See, everyone always asks me that. They say, Parker, why have you niched with Google ads? Parker, why are you the only one here doing Google ads? And I'd like to say something like, oh, I felt out the market and realized I was the only person who knew a lot about Google ads and I could just start monetizing with it. But the truth is, I just know about Google ads, so I write about Google ads. Like there isn't like some big calculation here, like I'm measuring the market or whatever. It's just like no one else is talking about Google ads. I know a lot about Google ads, and if I can be helpful to other people, that's kind of the goal.
I thought it was okay, because I thought it was you like coming in like, what's unique?
No.
Ads, nobody's talking about that. Time to look. And it just like happened, right? It was just a happy coincidence that you're able to do this.
Yeah, my whole life has basically been happy coincidences.
Good.
But to that point, it's like you would think there would be more people in the space talking about Google ads because it's such a huge realm.
Yeah. It seems like after I started following you and you started tweeting about it, I started like I've even used it once. I spent like $50 on it, just messing around. But even after that, I'm like, why aren't we using this? Like, this is weird. We talked about Facebook being this massive global marketplace, blah blah blah, but Google hosts Facebook. Like, why aren't we talking about this?
Well, if you want to go really meta, I mean, Amazon has AWS and they host everyone. Mm-hmm. So in a real roundabout way, Amazon technically owns everything. Like when you frame it that way, but I know what you're saying. It's like, I think Google is actually a larger platform in terms of the advertising space than Facebook is. Mm-hmm. And one of the advantages, of course, with with pay-per-click, right? If we're actually going to talk about it, is that you can actually pay based off of clicks directly instead of just impressions like Facebook for the most part, which is super helpful in terms of products. And we could talk all day about, what you need to do to get started, but it's really pretty simple. And if you just get started and are committed, you can do it pretty easily.
So what you're saying about that is it doesn't like with Facebook, if people just look at your ad, you get charged basically, or it accrues.
With Facebook ads, typically what happens is you select an audience. Mm-hmm. So for example, I would say I want to target people between 18 and 30 who live in this area and who are interested in this topic, right? Mm-hmm. So that's typically what Facebook ads are. And those are effective. I'm not downplaying Facebook ads. They can work. Mm-hmm. How I always frame it is that Facebook ads is like putting up a billboard down a route that your audience is already into. Mm-hmm. So how I would describe it is similar to that.
Yeah.
Google is more like a friend's referral in that you're only really targeting folks who are already interested in what you're selling.
Mm-hmm. And that's why you target based on like SEO and things like that, right?
Well, SEO is a part of it. There are these things called, basically Google has a ranking system. It's a lot like an auction. Facebook does it too. But the main point is that, if we're talking like the difference between the two platforms, what Google does that no one else does, or no one else to its effect does, is target specifically on search terms. So if you wanted to buy, let's just say a red ball, right? Like a basketball or whatever, you type that in to Google and an ad pops up. Mm-hmm. And you can do that too with Facebook. But if you don't have that retargeting data, how are you going to find people searching for a very specific thing?
Right.
And that are actively interested in buying.
So if you have a very specific item that a lot of people want, then you can specifically target your ad. So it like when people type that in, they go and yours is the first thing up there.
Yeah. I mean, not the very first thing because you'll have competitors, but yeah,
Right.
exactly.
But you can eventually, if you're popping off, then that's a
Yeah,
possibility.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Very cool. Yeah. So it's a lot more. It's a lot. I guess you could frame it like this: it's for people that have made up their minds already, and not just for people that are just like mindlessly scrolling and there's like it pops up, right?
Yeah, so there's a lot of marketers describe three types of traffic. It's cold traffic, warm traffic, and hot traffic. So for example, I mean, I don't know if I need to go through all of this. Cold traffic is just, a random person online. Warm traffic is an audience or someone who was interested in purchasing. And hot traffic is people clicking on something willing to buy it.
Yeah.
So like an email list, like when someone clicks a link in an email they get for someone that they like, usually that's hot traffic because the conversion rates can be like 20%, which is really good. But yeah, so Google would be more warm traffic. So it's people interested in buying something without the coldness of not knowing if they're into it, because they wouldn't have clicked on your link if they weren't.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems like you can combine both Facebook and Google Ads together.
Oh, for sure.
Really broad. You can get the cold and you can get the sort of warm people, because there's probably going to be less. Obviously there's way, in terms of cold people and warm people, there's way more cold people, but at the same time there's less warm people, but they're more likely to click. So if you can get both of those, then that could be great.
There's another metric called CTR, which Google and Facebook both have, and it's called click-through rate. And what I found is that if you're good at Google Ads, you can get that CTR up very high. For the campaign I'm running right now, I've got a CTR that's averaging in around 16 to 18%, which is pretty nice.
What is an average like Facebook ad campaign, if you know?
That totally depends on the user, on the products. Like everything, it's a huge platform. But on average, I'd say 4 to 8.
Okay.
Generous. Yeah.
Probably bit higher if it's more niched, a bit lower if it's wider and whatnot. But with Google Ads, since it's already like pre-niched in a sense, then it seems like those CTRs are gonna be higher overall.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, one thing I noticed with Facebook ads compared to Google ads is that Google ads are mostly text-based, right, with the search engine, and Facebook ads, since it's on the feed, you can have videos and you can have your photo and you can have a creative in a sense. Do you think that helps or harms Google ads, or like have you noticed a difference doing a Google ad with a picture on like a sidebar or anything like that? Like what are your observations when it comes to that concept?
So for what I specialize in, pay-per-click, there actually isn't even any images. It's just text.
Gotcha.
And this is just what you search for, the ads that pop up immediately. Those are all PPC ads. Okay,
so this is like you go on Google, you type in like Red Ball, and that first bulk of text, that's where your ads are up top, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it. So, and like I've been on YouTube, and obviously like everyone has ad blockers these days, but you know how you're on YouTube and there's those ads on the side with the big pictures. Is that through Google ads too? Or is that like a specific YouTube ad thing? 'Cause I know there's two different kind of arms.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously Google owns YouTube. Yeah. So it's based off of the same platform, although it's different advertising methods. So with YouTube ads, you have those videos in the corner and you can select what type of videos you want. The difference between the 5-second ones and the 15-second and everything before that. And, different things depend on different demands. Like the 5-second ones are mostly more for what would you even call it? Like information. Like that's why you'll see it for the first 5-second ones. It's usually like a foundation or something. Whereas the 15-second ones are usually sales. So the more selling, and they want you to click on the link.
Well, those 3-minute videos where the guy's like, "Hey, yo, what's up? Today we're gonna be talking about how to make millions of dollars online with my laptop." Blah blah blah, and then they're like walking around in Bali or something.
You cut out right as you were doing the imitation.
Oh, basically, like those videos where the guy he's like in some place and he's like a super he's on like Coke or something. He's like, "So today we're gonna be talking about doing online e-commerce dropshipping, and I'm in Bali and everything is so sick here. So today, buy my free training right here, $4.97. Buy my training." He's just going off, and it's just
Yeah.
super aggressive.
Well, it's like on one hand, you gotta be up to that energy level, right? Which is like different than just like talking. Like there's this thing called pattern interrupts. You know what those are?
No, actually,
Okay.
break it down. Yeah.
So pattern interrupts are when you're expecting something, but then something else happens and it captures your full
Okay.
attention.
Gotcha.
So to get good at YouTube ads, you have to be a master at pattern interrupts. Because if you click on a video, you're not interested in watching an ad, you're interested in watching the video. So you got to do something. If you think about this, it explains all the videos that you watch on YouTube, all the ads, if you start looking for this. Mm-hmm. It's like, what are they doing in the first 5 seconds that makes me want to keep watching?
Have you ever seen those, you know, I don't have ad blocker on YouTube because I actually like watching the ads and getting the insight, but the ones that have really popped recently, I've seen those Manscaped ones with the dude with that, he's got the, it's like the Manscaped, there's the soap guy, and then there's like the sunglasses one. It's the same guy with that long blonde hair and the beard. He's like, your sunglasses are shit. And he just breaks them. Yeah. And they're really well done. It's like a very clean, like really attractive setup. And I've noticed that those just pop off. And they've been running the same ad for like 6 months. So it's clearly working.
Yeah, and that's a great example though. That's a great example of a pattern interrupt. Is you want to watch, you know, some compilation video and they interrupt you. Yeah, your glasses are shit, and then breaks it because you're like, whoa, what?
Yeah, whoa. And there's the you know, there's the other ones too. Like I forgot the whole product and everything, but I remember it was like 5 or 10 seconds long. It's just really short, and the guy was like, look, we know you want to watch your video, but click this link and, you know, we'll get your stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's pretty interesting because you're immediately empathizing with the viewer. Like, look, like, I know you want to watch the video. I know you don't want to watch an ad, but I have this cool thing that you might be interested in. And then you're disarmed a bit when you watch that. You're like, oh, okay. Like, okay, this guy understands me at a deep level. I'm gonna go click on his product.
Well, yeah, exactly. But it's also a mix of if they're actually interested in clicking on it, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're watching a video and it's something totally unrelated, and I just go up to you like, hey, listen, I know you want to watch this video, but click here and you know, it'll keep going. Because if it's not a product they're actually interested in,
right, it has to be niche product. Like you don't want to be watching a LeBron James compilation and then have this thing come up for like theoretical physics course or something like that. When it comes to like the text copy writing on Google Ads, like when you're actually doing the you know, the headline and whatnot, like what's kind of your process for, you know, writing those? Is it based on SEO at all?
A little bit. Google actually has a tool called Keyword Planner. And okay. What you do with that is you look at the data, you look at how many people per month are searching for this keyword, and you measure the campaigns off of that. That's the keywords. The headlines, you want to make it specific enough where it's very, very clear that people are interested and actually want to click on it. So I would describe it as like, if you wanted, let me use a different example besides the red ball. Like a poster of some sort, right?
Yeah.
Like a Game of Thrones poster. Let's say you want to buy that.
Yeah.
So you'd go to Google, you type in the keywords like Game of Thrones poster, Game of Thrones merch, you know, all these things related to the actual thing. And then you'd measure the results by keywords. And the actual headline would be, you know, Game of Thrones poster. You want to make things as clear as possible so there's no confusion when folks land on the page.
Yeah. So you're just trying to go for maximum clarity with those.
Yeah. You just gotta reassure folks they're in the right place, like right. That they're actually there for a reason.
Because like you said, they're already warm. They're already like hunting for something to buy. So you don't need to like do some epic sales copy, try to like, you know, really think outside the box. If you think it's enough just to be extremely clear and, you know, concise with what you have?
Yeah. Well, here's what I would say.
Obviously, you still need to be persuasive and whatnot, but big part of it is the clarity factor.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You want to make sure things are as clear as possible so folks are in the right place. But here's what I would say, and this is very important. This is going to be the most important thing I think I say this entire Zoom call. So if anyone's listening or watching, I want you to pay very, very close attention to what I'm going to say. All right. The idea that you need to make money immediately and make it by a lot with the initial sale on the first day is bullshit. That does not happen in any big business operation. That's total bullshit. Here's what I mean by that. A lot of folks will go out there, whether it's Facebook ads or Google ads, they'll go out there, they'll have a product, they'll put up an ad, and then when they lose $20 a day for like a week, they say, oh, this doesn't work, I'm gonna stop. So there's two aspects to this. There's testing, right? You want to make sure that you want to test things to see what's most optimized with ads. But there's also the back end. And the back end is what no one has, which makes all of the fucking money. All of it. So for example, you know who Alex Becker is?
Yeah, doesn't he? He has a mic like this, and he's like, so today we are going to be talking about blah, 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 blah. And he's like, skyline, you know, classic e-com.
So the guy spends, and I actually took one of his courses about a year ago. So I'm very, very familiar with his business model. The guy's a genius, by the way. And what he does is he goes to Google ads and he goes to Facebook ads and he goes to YouTube ads. And he has a free opt-in link, something like the 100 best SEO tips, right? That he directs folks to, which all the ads direct folks to. This very, very simple opt-in page. It's like a few sentences, that's it. He collects leads at $4 a lead and doesn't sell them for the first few days, just sends them info. So to the average person, and this is why I emphasize this is very important if you're just getting started, the average person would never do that. And that isn't like me saying like, oh, the average person is like dumb. But the average person, when they're just getting started with ads, their biggest fear is losing money immediately up front. But like companies like Google don't spend millions on billboard ads and then expect to recoup that in one day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a very large investment. And so what I would say is you got to think more like that. Like how can I extend the customer relationship to be months and years, not just days or weeks?
Right. You want to have something where, okay, you're putting in $1 now and maybe you're losing $2, right? But you want to get that to where maybe in 3 weeks you're making $1.50 every time you put in $1 to the ads.
So here's the beautiful thing about email marketing, right? You can test it out without threatening a dime, right?
Yeah.
You could go to tomorrow, and I think you actually should, Tiger, I think this should actually be great for you. What you do is you set up the back end, right? Maybe it's a month or two of emails with certain products that are cheap and expensive. Then what you do is you collect about 200 emails with Twitter or with other free traffic methods.
Yeah.
Then you just wait and measure the results. So let's say after 2 months, the average LTV, which is the lifetime value, or in other words, the revenue divided by emails, let's say that's $5 an email, right? Which is totally doable in a month or two. Then what you do, and keep in mind, you haven't spent a dime of advertising, right? It's all been free.
You spend time writing the emails and stuff.
Yeah, but it's not money though, right? So there's a lot of stress on your end. So once you find out comfortably that the average lead is worth $5 to you, you go to Facebook or Google ads and you spend under that amount. That's it.
Interesting. So you just kind of like, you kind of get the number beforehand and then, okay, that's what I'm going to spend.
Yeah. I mean, some businesses require you to pay advertising no matter what to even get that number. But a lot of things like info products, like Google ads, like all of these things people talk about and then sell with ebooks, you could easily collect those emails for free and send them through a funnel. Nice. And then just measure the results. If it's higher than whatever it costs to get leads, you pay under that amount and you make money.
Gotcha.
And even if you break even, you get leads for free. So it's like there's no way to lose.
Yeah, and you still have the email list at the end of the day, and you can keep growing that email list regardless.
Yeah, man. You take that initial investment and you just keep growing with it.
The other thing too is like you can't get banned with email. Like like your CSV, you can have that forever. You can have that forever.
Yeah. Well, some cases, I know like a few months ago, what is it, like Stefan Molyneux was like MailChimp banned him or something.
Yeah, but I mean, don't use Mailchimp. It's just very
Yeah.
simple. Mailchimp's a scam. I first started my email list with that, and I left it within a day because the interface was terrible, and I was just really not happy with anything that.
Customer service is non-existent on the whole platform either.
Yeah, yeah, I
It's
was
very, very bad.
no way, no way. So I'll use Send in Blue now, and it's kind of obscure, but I've never had a problem with it, never once.
Nice. I use Market Hero, which is actually run by Alex Becker. So,
Alex Becker fanboy, right there.
well, the guy's a little crazy, and I kind of like that with what he's done. Have you seen his like latest videos, by the way?
The
Like,
only Alex Becker video I've ever seen was he was like e-commerce is on the downslope, and it was like a really like clickbaity video, and like
yeah,
the point was just the point of the end of the video was just like you need to build a brand and not just sell products, which is like, but he just framed it as e-commerce is dying. Um, yeah, that's the only thing I've seen.
yeah. So if you want to, here's also another great tip when you're writing ads or when you're writing email headlines. You have an email list, you said, right?
I do. I haven't been using it recently, but what I found out too is that Arthaus, like every time someone opts in and listens to the cast, even if they're paying $0, I get their email.
Yeah,
So I guess yeah, I do.
yeah. So it's a win-win, and you build a list for free.
Yeah, basically. That's why I like Gumroad, but attention Gumroad, if you're listening to this, your software is horrible. Like people are having so much trouble listening to this cast on the mobile phones and the computers and whatnot. People are people have been messaging me every single day going, "Hey, this isn't loading. Hey, this isn't working." So fix your shit, Gumroad. That is all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I use.
Like the whole new craze is like, or like it's starting to turn into a meme where like the guy comes on Twitter, gets 1,000 followers, and then sells a Gumroad ebook on like side hustling. Like, have you noticed anything in terms of have you like in terms of clients coming up to you or like people trying to run ads to Gumroad or do email marketing to Gumroad?
Gumroad's really funny, and the reason why it's funny is because I see everyone on Twitter using it, and if it works for you, awesome. But for like professional clients, I don't think I've yet to met like a single person willing to spend 1,500 a month selling a Gumroad products. Like I haven't met that person yet. Maybe they exist,
Yeah.
in which case awesome, but I haven't met them.
See,
No.
the other part too is I love dunking on Gumroad, but they host my podcast, so I'm trying to
Yeah.
move to another platform so I can stop being a hypocrite. But like, it's weird because I think Gumroad is great if you're selling like a membership because obviously the interface is very simple to use. It's a very easy setup, but I mean the other problem is that part is so buggy on their platform. But I think honestly, like looking back, when I sold my first like video entrepreneur guide, which I'm no longer selling, I'm just gonna put that out for free. Um, what I realized is that would just I could have just spent like a day making a sales funnel for that. What's that one? It's like there's like ClickFunnels obviously, and then there's that new one which is like
Hard.
you pay by like cents per day or something like that. Could have done something like that. Really made a great customizing page with testimonials and whatnot, cool colors on my own domain and whatnot. And then that way, not only do you learn how to sell, but you learn, how to build a funnel. You learn how to do the domain thing. You learn how to have like your own little platform other than just doing like a Gumroad ebook.
Yeah. And I mean, there is some initial investment. Like I understand if you're making minimum wage, the idea of starting a ClickFunnels accounts can be probably a little scary.
Oh, don't do that. But
99 a month.
Card is amazing though, right? Have you used Card for
I
anything?
haven't used Card actually. No. Not
I
yet.
I've dabbled with it, and I know some people that use it daily, and they say it's so much better than ClickFunnels in every way.
So how is it different?
The big difference is that ClickFunnels you pay like was it like 70 a month or something like that?
99 a month.
$99 a month.
Mm-hmm.
With Card, you pay like 10 cents a day. or something like that. So at the end of the year, it's like 25 bucks or something like that. Like 40,
really?
something like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that just stacks up after a while. So a lot of people are like, yeah, car is a way better investment because if you're not, if you only have like $100 in starting capital, okay, you have your book, which is free, and you have your domain, which is like $10.
Can you do upsells with card?
You can like everything that's with ClickFunnels. It is just a funnel creation platform, but it's just 10 cents a day rather than $99 a month.
I'll have to check that out. That sounds like great.
And isn't ClickFunnels doesn't they have really bad customer service?
ClickFunnels?
Yeah.
Well, I've used them for about a year and I haven't checked cards, so I can't really compare. With ClickFunnels, yeah, I usually have to I messaged them a few months ago and they took like a day and a half to respond, which is no good.
Yeah.
It's like if you're spending 99, I don't mean to, critique ClickFunnels because they host most of my products, but it's like if you're going to do that and have folks spend $99 a month, I'm fine spending that. Like I'm really not going to complain, but make sure you have customer service that's good. Like there are products that it's like I'll give you an example, like Market Hero. Like that's if you just start with less than 500, that's like $14 a month, and they have people stationed every single workday that respond within half an hour.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing with Gumroad too is they're free, and they get back to me within like 30 minutes every single time I have a question, which
Yeah.
it makes no sense when your product does not scale with all the amenities. Like when you like, I think ClickFunnels is kind of coasting because like they're just going off name value. Like anytime someone needs to make a funnel, they have to go to ClickFunnels. So they're just like, well, you can kind of just fuck around and people still give us money.
Russell Brunson's also a very, very smart guy. The
Yeah.
guy's worth like 300 million now. He started, by the way, did you know that ClickFunnels started with no startup capital at all?
No, I did not.
100% self-funded. And I kind of appreciate that. It's like not cheating. Like they didn't take any investor capital. They own almost 100% equity and they just made it. So
I think a lot of people that is the weird thing with like, angel investors. Like it is very good that people can have angel investors because then there are some ideas that most people go like, no, it's stupid, and then an angel investor goes, okay, that's actually cool, here's some money, and then it becomes huge. But at the same time, there's a whole lot of hucksters that can like make up some brilliant thing, and then there's some bored venture capitalist that's just like printing cash. That's just like, yeah, here's 100 million for doing. Can I have a business plan? That are like, in a couple of years, you might be able to see our Google Doc. And then they're like, yeah, okay, cool. Your company name's cool. And then they give them a bunch of cash, and then the idea just flatlines. Or, it's like a Tesla situation where the stock price is way higher than the actual value of the production.
yeah.
And it's just weird. It's just weird. Like, so I that is cool that they just did it all. Built it all up themselves.
Have you ever read Peter Thiel's book, 0 to 1?
No, but that has been recommended to me 3 times the past week, so that's a sign that I must get it.
It's a great book. It's not long at all. It's like 150 pages, I think. Maybe not even that. But that's basically what he says, is that for a lot of really good businesses, if you're an investor, like you don't want to like compete in a crowded market space. You want to find something that no one else is doing and go full like ham mode on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that guy owns, I think, what is it, 20% of Facebook? Something like that.
I mean, yeah, Peter Thiel is just, he can do whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants now.
I love Peter Thiel because he single-handedly destroyed Gawker. He single-handedly wiped them out.
That is hilarious. That is my first experience listening to Peter Thiel, it was in my high school economics class, and this is like before I knew him, and his speech was terrible because he kept going life and the way, and it was weird. It wasn't like a stutter. He just like his brain was moving too fast for his mouth, and then I was like, this guy's weird. I don't like this guy, and then I took a year off of thinking about him, and then Ali was like, Peter Thiel. So I was like, okay, I got to look at this guy again. And then I've listened to some of his speech. I read some of his stuff, listened to some of his speeches and whatnot. I was like, oh, I see why everyone likes him now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's weird. It's weird how things like that happen.
I think he moved to LA, right? Because he got bored of San Francisco.
Yeah. Yeah. He is there's a whole article on Peter Thiel's house in LA.
All right, let me ask you a question now. Should
Yeah.
I move to California or should I move to somewhere else? Would you recommend other people move to California?
No, go away.
No.
Here's the thing. Everyone that's intelligent is going to move out of California within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Unless there's something big happens. So, or they're going to stay in this small pocket of Southern California. And not even LA, like south of LA. And we don't want more people in here. So selfishly, I'd say stay away. Unselfishly, though, there's no benefit to moving to California. Like if you're making 10K a month and you're living in like North Carolina or whatever, and you're near some wood, where are you at?
I'm outside Boston.
Okay. Well,
yeah, so not much better like for terms of
taxes and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, maybe for you, like it would just be like it might be better because of weather, but if you're gonna, it would be a side grade at most. But
I'm thinking about Austin. Austin looks like a beautiful, beautiful city.
Yeah, that's gonna be popping in the next 5 years. Also, the problem is all of Silicon Valley is gonna move to Austin. Austin's gonna turn to Silicon Valley, and then the nerds are gonna find another place to go ruin. So we got to get there and make it Chad before all the nerds get there. But
yeah,
like for anyone listening to this, if you're making 10K a month right now or whatever, you're making your golden 10K a month, and you're living in a state like Arizona, North Carolina, the South somewhere that the cost of living is really cheap, just stay there. Stay there. Just go find a place that's, decent, live comfortably and have like you could literally like, we like to rag on the South and the, backwards parts a lot, but there's a lot of natural beauty, in that whole part. There's a whole forest, lakes, rivers, all that stuff. Like find a nice place, and just make that your base, and then you won't have to pay as much tax. You can still fly out to LA whenever you want. Air travel's cheap now, so like, the draw of California is really just based on the media, and once you get here, you're like, no.
Yeah, or like Las Vegas. Honestly, dude, I've been looking at like photos of Las Vegas. I think Vegas might be pretty nice. Right outside by Henderson, very, very dry, a lot going on, no taxes. Like
UFC.
Yeah.
See, I'd never give Dave Nevada. I'm not a desert guy. Like I don't have any. I like to be near water, or like a forest or just something like that. But yeah, I'm not really a desert guy. But I will say though, like that 0% tax rate that's pretty huge. That's pretty huge.
What states have that though? Like Florida has it too. Texas has it. New Hampshire.
See, I thought you were in Florida.
No.
Okay. I thought you were in Florida. That was my assumption. I think you were.
Do you see how pale I am, dude? Do you think I'd survive in Florida?
I thought, weren't you there for like a holiday or something?
I met, do you know who Ecom Andy is?
Yes.
Okay. I met him in Tampa. What was that? That must have been last March. So March of 2019. So, and it was really funny too. I was staying at my grandma, without like doxing where my grandma lives, where it's like kind of close to like where the airport is. And, I text him, and I'm like, yo, I just landed in Tampa. He's like, yo, word, you doing anything? I'm like, no. So he came back and so I'm driving back to the airport, or driving back to the house from the airport. And I pull up, my grandma and I pull up to the stoplight, and I look to my right and I see Ecom Andy giving me the middle finger from his Jeep. And I'm like, what are the fucking chances of that? Like, just got off the airport. I'm like, yo, there's my internet friend I've never met.
Hey, there's internet boy.
Yeah.
Nice, bro. Well, how was that? What did you guys do?
So we drove back, and this is late too. This was like at like 9 or 10. So we drove back. My grandma went to sleep, so him and I were just working on like some ClickFunnels stuff, just like sharing advice on ecom. And then he left at like 2 a.m. and I just enjoy being in Florida for the first time and actually, feeling warmth for once. And yeah, that was it.
Feeling warm for once.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of you so much. It's finally got above 70 degrees yesterday, and I finally understand what that's like. Like for the first time in months.
Let's check it out. I'm gonna pull up the thing. Okay, so right now it is. Here's the week's forecast, right? We got 77, 79, 78, 76, 74, 73, all sunny. Flexed.
We have.
What do you have?
No, it's sunny tomorrow and then rain for the rest of the week. So
beautiful.
Yeah, another beautiful day in New England.
Beautiful day.
But there is something pretty nice about New England. Like the season changes are actually pretty cool.
The fact that you have seasons is underrated, honestly. Like it's nice. It's nice having like an eternal spring, summer here, but seasons are cool.
Yeah, I mean they are until they aren't, right? Like they are in the fall and spring, but when it's like -5 degrees outside, you're like, it's really the best. I don't know.
A lot of history though up there, like the start of the country and whatnot. Is the architect? I was in Haddonfield, New Jersey, with Pat Stedman doing his course, and we were just driving through like the main part of the town, and it was cool looking. Like everything was, 18th century architecture and whatnot. Lots of trees. It was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of history. Like the town that I live next to, again, not to dox myself, but the town I live very close to, George Washington actually lived in for a little while.
Oh wow!
Like that's right outside my backyard. There's like Lexington and Concord. Like all this great stuff. There's just so much history right there. Mm-hmm. Like I could go to it, walk around and come back within like half an hour. Like that's so cool.
That's pretty underrated, honestly. I mean, that's the thing. Nobody knows. Like people that live on the East Coast don't know what the West Coast is really like. People on the West Coast don't know what the East Coast is really like. There is just pockets of beauty throughout this whole country.
It's a huge country. It's a huge country.
Yeah.
It's a great country, but it's very isolated to certain parts.
Yeah.
West Virginia is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like there's beautiful parts of every state in every country in the whole country.
Yeah, man.
But no one really talks about that because everyone's too obsessed with New York and LA.
New York, LA, San Francisco. Yeah, that's it. New York, LA, San Francisco, and there's like one more. No, I don't think so.
I mean, like maybe Boston. Boston's got pretty high rent. Third to New York and San Francisco, which makes no sense.
That is whack. Last thing before we gotta let you go, how is Boston overall?
How is Boston?
Yeah.
Boston's a great, beautiful city. And
really?
It's actually very small. People think Boston's a big city. No, you can walk from one end to the other in about half an hour.
Really?
Yeah, what makes up Boston's all the suburbs in like the Boston metro area. Mm-hmm. But the actual city, you can walk from Faneuil Hall to the other side pretty easily. And you kind of have to because the transportation isn't the best. The T's all right. It's getting better. But, in the summertime, like in the fall and the spring, Boston's a beautiful, beautiful city. Mm-hmm. And if I had the option of living here, I definitely would. And I might. It depends if I move to Austin or not.
Yeah. Austin, wherever I move, it's gonna be for business purposes and for family purposes. I don't really care about like a nightlife or going out or whatever. So, because I mean I'm already in that place where I could do that. So, not really gonna worry about that. But I would stay away from California and look at Austin or Nevada myself.
That sounds good. I'll have to do that.
Parker, it was great having you on. People learned a lot about Google Ads and learned a lot about your niche opinions on U.S. states and stuff. Do you have anything you'd like to say before we hop off?
Thanks for having me, Tiger.
Oh, just that? You're not going to drop some massive gem? That's okay, bro.
All right. No, go to the description below and get my free ebook. No, I'm kidding.
Free ebook today. Ebooks.
I'm coming out with a new ebook every day this month. Each ebook's gonna be 10 pages long. It's gonna be $45 an ebook because the information inside you cannot find anywhere else. You cannot find, and it will never have a sale.
Here in my garage.
Here in my room with a
Here in my
podcast
room.
today. This has been Park Nathan's, everyone.
I've got a Yeti mic. Give me money. No.
Yeah, I have a $45 Amazon Shure mic. Give me millions of dollars. Okay, goodbye. Bye.
All right. Good talking to you, Tyler. Or Tiger.
And the whole thing was slanted. I forgot.
Oh, are we still recording?
No.
Okay, cool.